The purpose of this video is to help you determine how many pallets would you need to move per week to get you a couple $1,000s per week, okay? So I'm gonna break this down with just pallets, but I'm gonna give you a couple other scenarios while I'm in here as well, because there's other items besides pallets we can deal with, just to give you an idea of what's going on. Remember, like the pallets you see on the screen, I'm getting for free, so the overhead's low, so it's not like we're having to put money out of pocket to get the pallets in about 95% of the cases. So let's do some quick math. Pallets are going right now anywhere from $8 to $14 per pallet. And these are odd sizes and variety of sizes as you see in the pic. So let's even lowball that. Let's say $7, okay? Which is not the reality, but just to not exaggerate any claims here, we're gonna go $7 a piece on these particular pallets. And they were loaded on my truck, of course, by a forklift driver at this location, not myself, not by hand. And I'm going to be going directly to the buyer as well, so we don't have any storage overhead or anything like that. So I've already counted these up before. This is a stack of 17 pallets. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stacks total. We have one with 18. So basically 17 times 6 plus 1. 17 pallets per stack, 17 times 6 equals 102 pallets. So it's actually 103 pallets because this last stack here has 18. So we're at 103 pallets, okay? So at 103 pallets, let's switch this and clear it out and put 103. 103 pallets at times $7 equals 721 bucks. So that's at a low ball rate, like I said. The overhead would be gas in your truck, and let's say you had to do a truck rental for the day, so you don't own a truck, or a trailer rental. So we can do this type of load, be loaded up, drive a mile to our buyer. Now, we're not driving across country or city or anything like that. A lot of times 3 blocks to the buyer. So this process of getting loaded up and strapping ththese down, as you see in the picture, is about a 15-20 minute process, sometimes even less. But and as again, we're not even having to sort them. So if that's a 15-minute process and me driving to the business another, let's say 5-10 minutes, so we're at 25 minutes, and then another 10 minutes to unload them, $721 in about a 35-40 minute process. So let's say if we're only taking us 45 minutes, there's no reason we can't do 2 loads, right? Because as you can see, there's situations like this where one supplier can provide multiple loads on any given day, and they're generating like 120 pallets a day in this type of scenario. So we could go back and forth doing multiple loads. So let's say we just did 2 loads. At as I stated earlier, let's say the next load was the identical, and we're at a $1,442 get for the morning in a few hours. Well, let's say you're a rookie, it takes you an hour to do a load, which it shouldn't, but let's say you're nervous and maybe you have to drive a little further. Let's say you have to drive 5 miles to your buyer. Even so, we're at a $1,421 get in a couple hours in the morning. And let's say you had to rent this truck. This is my truck that you're seeing here. It's an old 96, 12 foot long, 8 foot wide. But let's say you had to rent that truck, and we're at $1,421 bucks. So let's clear that. So if we had to rent a truck for $135 minus $135 for the rental equals $1,285 bucks for a couple hours of work. Let's say minus $10 more for gas, which is probably high, but we're at $1,275 bucks for a couple hours. We say a couple hours divided by 2. Not that I even think about working by the hour, because I don't. I work by the unit. We're at $637 bucks an hour. And that sounds like a huge number, but we are trading units for money, not time for money. I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it 1,000 more. It's important to understand we can multiply ourselves by making money per unit. How many units can I move this morning to make the income I want to make and have low overhead in the process where I'm getting my product for free and I'm not having to store it and I don't need employees, right? The business I'm at here as a pickup is a supplier. they are my storage, right? They are my warehouse. I come and get them. They don't want them anymore. They want them gone. It overtakes their lot when I don't come. So I'm a service to that business. So, but let me pause for a second, and I want to go over a different item that we could deal with and give you an idea of how we could combine pallets with other items to get money as well. So we're not just limited to pallets, okay? So in the picture I pulled from our private Facebook group, in fact, was the comment. They just made $3K moving what's called Gaylord boxes, which are very thick, heavy duty, big boxes that have been lightly used, but people would rather buy them from us for a discounted price than having to buy them new. So Gaylord boxes can go for 20, 25, 30 bucks a piece, depending on the size and if they're octagon shape, a lot of different variables. But these guys made $3K in a day moving Gaylord boxes. But let's say you don't get this quite many supplies, but if we're doing some Gaylord boxes and let's say it's 1/3 of this supply, and let's say it's, I got the wrong thing up. I'm going to pull my calculator up, clear this out, and we're going to put, let's say it's 60 boxes times $25. So that's a $1,500. If we add that up with the $1,420 plus $1,420 from the previous, we're at a $3,000 get just on 3 loads of items. But we also have 55-gallon drums, corrugated boxes that aren't the Gaylord boxes, dunnage, wire reels, spools, industrial bags, there's crates, all other types of items that are coming into play as well. And the cool thing about this business I've always liked is the same businesses that need Gaylord boxes also need pallets, or vice versa. People need pallets, also need 55-gallon drums in a lot of cases. So we're getting a separate revenue stream to the same businesses we're already selling pallets to, which is important because it makes your life easier. We break it all down. We're talking a couple loads of pallets, even at the low ball number of $7 a piece per pallet. And then you have the other items that come into play. Spools, as an example, I'll pause and pull a spool picture up. So these are the wooden wire spools I'm referring to, customers that need these items as well. And they come much larger as well. These are around the 30 to 36 inch range here, but they go all the way up to 92 inches. So you have a range of selling these anywhere from $15 to $160, depending on the size. So, this right here is another alternative for revenue streams that are coming to play with this business model when you do the calculations for these as well. I think it's important for you just to understand we are not having to do load after load after load and customer after customer after customer to make that $2,000 that we're after per week, or $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 a week. When you start layering brokering deals in large quantities that you're not even having to move as a revenue source for your business. You layer on top of that the low overhead that you have to come into play. That's how your net at the end of the day does not get shrunk by overhead, by storage, that type of thing. Now, if you don't have a truck, you would be backing out that rental fee, but the smart way of going for the truck on 1 day a week to start with, but the smart way is to stack up all your orders on 1 day of the week to make that happen. So you're not renting a truck Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You're just doing all your orders on Wednesday and doing multiple of them to maximize that rental or that trailer, or borrowing your friends, or cutting a friend in on the deal, or forget about A to B and just do brokering where you don't even need a truck. So those are the options you have in this business model. And I wanted to expose that to you so you understand, what does it take to get me to $2,000 or that $1,000 a week without having to work all week. And I hope this video helps you understand that. Okay, John Wilker with thesimplestbiz.com. If you want to learn how to do this business streamlined in the right way, thesimplestbiz.com, or you can go to thepalletcourse.com, COURSE.com, thepalletcourse.com. All right, hope this has been helpful. See you on the next one.